Yes, it is true. The Black Ace Hockey Podcast is back in action, playoff edition. My name is Ben Abs. I'm right here as always with your co-host Nick Jenkins. A little under the weather, but we're gonna kick right through it. What's going on, man?
Spring allergy season, baby. I'm excited because that means that golf weather is coming, but at the same time, not having a good time at this very moment.
Right.
So, yeah, man, not too much going on. I know we had a good time last weekend. The boys got together for a day of fun there.
2 days of fun.
2 days of fun. Well, you went on like a week-long bender there, and you were at the tail end.
I had to support the Pens, and we'll get into it a little later. But yeah, so not a great day to be in Pittsburgh either. It's muggy, it's gray out, it's raining. It's full of Flyer tears right now. So that's just how it is and how it has to be. But yeah, outside of hockey, Jenks, anything else going on? What's going on outside of NHL land?
Yeah, not too much, not too much. It's just that time of year where I don't watch basketball, so I'm not watching those playoffs.
Yeah, forget that.
The golf season's in full swing. Got to watch the Masters. Always love watching the Masters. Rory back to back. But yeah, other than that, man, not too much going on in my world over here. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, about the same. I feel like last week was just a blur in time. But we got through it. Got some stuff cleaned out of the house. I'm kind of like just settling into the house, kind of finding my flow the way around, like getting the stove, like a first time gas stove user. They tried to get rid of those puppies, but I had to bring them back.
Dude, they're so much better than electric. Just much better.
Like, it's so dumb how you have to like adjust how you cook on a gas stove. It's
100%. Yeah.
So
100%.
Would highly recommend after using it. But let's jump into this. A lot to talk about. For those listening, we're not going to talk about the sweeps. All right. I mean, we'll mention them, but everybody knew. It's like those games, those series. Everybody knew what was happening. So let's just the first one, Colorado, LA, Jenks, Kopitar's last hurrah. I mean, at least he got to play at home for his last game there.
Yeah. Not too much to say about this series. I mean, it went exactly how everybody would have expected. I think Colorado's just too talented, too fast. LA just couldn't keep up with them. But just a quick note on Kopitar, man. Like 20 great years in the league. One of the best two-way players of his generation. Always was in the mix for that Selke trophy. So just a congratulations to him and one of the LA Kings franchise best players there for sure.
Yeah, I feel like even me, like in the last couple of years, maybe when I say couple, I mean like 5 or 6. Like the name Kopitar kind of like finally started like kicking in. Same with like Barkov, right? Like you don't really understand how much these guys meant to these teams until like you finally hear about him on his way out the door. So congrats to him. I mean, they tried to keep it close the first 2 games, and then Colorado just turned it on. A couple empty netters, but that's just how the playoffs crumble towards the end of the games. But jumping into this next series, Dallas, Minnesota, and this is the series we all knew was coming down to the wire. Minnesota 3, Dallas 2, and by the time you hear this podcast, the 6th game, if I can do math correct, will be in play. So, Jenks, what are we feeling? Well, how's this series going for you?
Yeah, it's like you said, just about exactly how we'd expect. Excuse me, Dallas is for sure the probably I'll call them the more experienced team.
Yeah.
They've been one of these teams that a lot of people are picking as preseason favorites to win the conference and some to win the Stanley Cup for the last couple of years now. But man, Minnesota is showing that they came to play, and obviously that acquisition of Quinn Hughes made all the difference. When he's on the ice, that offense just flows. Everything is just clean. Pucks are moving up ice. Kaprizov is firing on all cylinders right now. So
Everybody
if
that needs
you're
to show up is showing up.
exactly, that's what I was going to say. If you're a Minnesota fan, you have to be really happy about the way your team looks right now.
Yeah, it's kind of impressive. Like if you just go through every game, and just look at the box score, every big name you can ever think of, Heiskanen, Robertson, uh, Quinn Hughes, Wallstead, Ottinger, like they're all having great games. Now the fluky first
Right.
game when Minnesota absolutely buried the Dallas Stars. I mean, yeah, that'll happen. That'll happen. But it's how you bounce back, and Dallas just bang bang, quick double hitter, and then Minnesota did it back to them. So, I mean, I think going into Game 6, obviously must win territory for Dallas, but I feel like it's a little different for them now because they're coming off of a loss, right? Like you're not winning to get to that number 2 game and then going to play the number 3 game. Now all the pressure is on who, Jenks?
You mean individual player?
Ah, the pressure. Like who's the pressure on for the team to show up?
I feel
It's
like
on
you're
the.
going to
It's
hit me
on.
with somebody I'm not
It's
ready
on.
for.
No, it's just on the Dallas Stars. It's on the Dallas Stars. It wasn't a trick question.
I thought you were hitting me with a trick
It was
question.
not a trick question.
Okay.
Because like if you lose, so like it's tied 2-2. Whoever wins,
Yeah.
okay, like you're winning. So like Minnesota wins on the road. Now they go back to Minnesota to play Game
It
6.
wh- what do you mean this is game 6?
Okay, follow me here. This
You
is a lot
you
of
you,
math.
you
Game
lost me, bud.
Game 5, right?
Yes.
In Dallas.
Yes.
Okay. Minnesota wins Game 5.
Okay.
Okay. Now they go back to Minnesota for Game 6.
Yeah.
The pressure is on Dallas, unlike the other 3-2 series where a team won on the road or won at home and is going on the road to the external team's hometown. Now the pressure's on the external team.
But
Jay.
you have lost me. You have lost me. In both examples that you're talking about.
No. It's simple. It's simple math. It's simple math.
My God.
This is how I feel like when those statisticians at Vegas, they're like, okay, I found a scenario that's a 70% hit rate. When an athlete's foot is tweaked 2 days before and he posts a picture of a chain online, that team usually ends up. No, I'm just like, dude, what are you saying right now? But yeah. Anyways, the pressure's on Dallas. Who do you think? For me, the pressure's on Dallas because you're coming off a loss, so you're already playing desperate from the jump. Whereas
Oh,
if you're
okay.
coming
I'm
off a
following.
win,
I'm
you
following.
know how to play. You're going to execute the same game plan.
Okay,
Where
you
Dallas,
finally
you're
got
gripping
me.
your
You finally
sticks.
got me.
You're tightening up a little bit everywhere.
Well,
Like
we'll get into the flip side. Yeah, we'll get into the flip side
See-
later on that other.
See what I
okay.
mean? You just have to
I-
get there.
But you should see the brain fog I have going on today because of these allergies. Somebody's like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "I don't know, Kevin." Like, it's been a rough day.
All right. I'll let you slide for that one. But answer who do you think the pressure's on?
I mean, I think it's on the Dallas scorers. I don't think it's on an individual player. I think Dallas has to find a way to put the puck in the net. Robertson has a goal in every game so far. He's been playing really well, but there's a lot of guys that you need to ask to step up and contribute. And I think of Rantanen in a big way. They gave him a huge contract. Time to pay up. You got to make
Classic
something
Ransom.
happen here.
He didn't really help the last couple of years either, and didn't help in Carolina when he was there. So, I mean, this is what I mean when you're just like needing everybody to show up. I mean, Kaprizov, Boldy are showing up for the Wild. Quinn Hughes is showing up for the Wild. They're Wallstead stud goalie is showing up. Like
Playing really well.
you need your guys, like the guys, not just random people, to actually be a
Yep.
part of your team and carry them through. So we'll see what comes of Game 6. Do you think they're closing it out here? Do you think they're taking it back to the Star State?
Man, it's tough because, like you said, Minnesota's got the momentum and they're going back on home ice. I if they play the way they've been playing, I think they'd shut down Dallas and they make this thing end in six. So my gut says that this is probably the last game in the series.
Unfortunately, I think so too, which is gonna hurt me in the soul because I picked Dallas in 7. So
I did too.
it's sad to see. But let's jump to our next series: Mammoth versus the Knights. And to be honest with you, completely unexpected. I did not see the Mammoth even close into the realm of Vegas
Yeah.
Knights because I mean you feel like Marner, the pickup of him, maybe would send this team into another echelon. They fired their coach 10 days before playoffs and was like, hey, we need somebody to just absolutely gas our players anytime anything happens. And they
Yeah.
bring in Tortorella. So what are we thinking of this series, Jenks?
So Vegas has looked better with Tortorella behind the bench. I don't know what changed, but um, they have looked like a better team since they brought him in. The surprise to everybody, I think to me and to everybody else, is how well Utah is competing against a loaded, deep Vegas team. I think this series is a big coming out party almost for like Logan Cooley, who is such a good player, but just plays for a team that doesn't get a ton of national TV time.
Yeah.
Um, Dylan Gunther as well. Like that dude can rip the puck, and there's been some other guys that are in the NHL media that are starting to tweet out about this guy, and they're like, "Hey, this guy's a serious goal scorer. Like he had 40 goals this year. He's probably a 40 goal scorer every season from here on out." They've got a lot of good pieces that I think flew under the radar for a while, and now people are seeing this, and
Yep.
they have the firepower to keep up. And I think one thing that Vegas has struggled with all season, and in some cases here, uh, they've gotten spotty goaltending. In some cases, really good. Some cases, not so good. But they need consistency in net. Carter Hart seems to be the lead guy right now, and he's had good moments. He's had bad moments, but you need somebody that's you feel pretty comfortable with backstopping you there.
Yep. I agree with that. And, you know, I was just scrolling through some of the games because these are the later games and God forbid I stay up past 9:30 internally. But every game, the Mammoth have scored first and then doubled up on goals or even tripled up on goals in some cases. And Vegas
Yeah,
ends up being like bang, 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 bang. Kind of, I mean, I'm not going to say it, but the Mammoth are kind of acting like a close team of ours that could not figure it out the first part of the season.
yeah,
And it's hard to do that well in the playoffs because imagine playing down every time or giving up those goals when you're up. So, I mean, I feel like eventually the Mammoth are going to have to figure out how to hold on to leads going into the third period and maintaining that sort of pressure. But I would agree with you. Like this series is like complete shock. Like Vegas, I feel like is the number one going into this matchup, and it's kind of weird not to see a sweep here almost. But the Mammoth are kicking, and we'll see what happens in Game 5. And it's weird that they're still on Game 5 to me, but whatever. So anything else to say? I feel like that's kind of it for this series.
no, it's been a fun one to watch. I have caught a little bit of this series. Utah is actually an exciting team now, which is amazing considering it's the same team that came out of Arizona
Yep.
that nobody wanted to watch.
Yep.
So it's a fun series.
Is there one player on the Mammoth off the top of your head? This is kind of off the cuff. I could go first if you want. That you would like to see make a step towards these ending games of the playoffs.
Oh, that's a good question. Who comes to your
Clayton
mind
Keller.
right away?
He only has one goal
Yeah,
in 4 games. I mean, your captain, the guy that complained about not getting paid, like, come on, like, here's your time. Let's go. What are we doing? So I feel like
true.
if anybody's gonna need to step up, it's definitely him.
Yeah, that's actually a really good one. Because I think, like I already mentioned, Cooley and Gunther. Like I think they've been the ones really driving the play. But to say that it's Clayton Keller's time to pick up
It's
some of
his
the
team.
slack here is a big one. Right, exactly. I like that one.
It,
I would agree with
yeah,
that.
it's kind of like Brady to Chuck in Ottawa. Like, it's your team and you have no points. Like, dude, what are we doing? Like, either figure out your role or stop trying to be the
Yeah,
guy. Like, if you're gonna
yeah,
be a fighter, be a fighter, but
yeah,
don't advertise yourself as a 40 goal scorer when you can't.
yeah.
Moving on to my arguably the best second. Nah, we can't say it's the best series. Second best series in the Western Conference. Ducks Oilers. Classic Oiler fashion. You know what? You know what I say, Jenks. You can't win games if you give up more than 3 goals in the playoffs. I'll say it until I die. The Oilers just can't figure it out how to like not keep it out of their net. They can't. It's impossible.
The last game of this series so far, Game Five, was the only game that they played well defensively, and I don't even want to give them too much credit for playing well defensively because Anaheim probably gave up after going down three
Yeah.
goals in the first 10 minutes of the
right.
game.
Right.
They're
It's
like, "That's
hard to come
okay."
back from. Like, it's a
Yeah, they're like,
preview.
"That's okay. Game six is back on our
Yeah.
ice. We'll kill you there."
Yep. Do you see? What about the goal? I feel like that's like a hot topic right now. Is that a goal, no goal for game number? What is it, 4?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Underneath the
Yeah, dude.
blade of Jari's, you can't see the top of the puck. What's your call, Jenks?
So in that instance, like they called it a goal on the ice. You don't you by the rules, you have to have a definitive look that says 100% to overturn that. And with the blade covering it, like you have to just let it stand, I think. I actually did read I think it was an article on NHL about it, basically, where they were talking about, I guess they, like the Situation Room does have technology where they're like, they can figure out how big the puck is and sort of trace it over the blade
Yeah.
to see exactly where it's positioned to give them a better idea. So maybe some of that helped too. But I think the biggest thing was they called it a goal on the ice. Right or wrong, you have to let it stand because you don't have a look that says, no, it wasn't a goal.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I feel like obviously if his skate blade wasn't there, it was in the net. I think it was deep enough to
Right.
be there.
I agree.
I probably couldn't have happened to a better team. You know, God, I hate Tristan Jarry, and God, I hate the Oilers. Like, it's absolutely beautiful how that situation ended up. But you know, I'm just surprised by this Ducks team. I feel like they've come a long way, and going into this season, they were sellers. They got rid of Zegras, right? Hey, give me every old New York Ranger captain, put him in here, and somehow they figured it out. You know, they figured out how to put goals on the ice. 7 goals in Game 3. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What are we? I'd ask the coach for a pizza on the way back too. Holy, that's 3 goals away from a 12 banger for the old 9 tour. But what's your thoughts on this series in general?
Yeah. This is a late one, right? So you don't catch very much of it. But, this was sort of one of those series that I had tabbed as being an offensive explosion, and that's what it's been.
Yeah,
We know what McDavid and Draisaitl can do. We've seen them do it. Anaheim has so much young talent, young
stupid.
scoring talent. It's crazy. Gauthier, Carlson, McTavish,
Lacombe,
Lacombe is probably a top 5 defenseman in the NHL right. He is shutting it
not
down
even
right
on the
now.
USA team. We said we don't need him.
It's
Rest
unbelievable.
them.
But yeah, that team, like they have a lot of veterans in place too. Like you said, they just sign every Rangers captain of the past 10 years.
Right.
Um, but they've got the veteran mix there that makes sense. I
Yep.
think the Carlson one was a big one for them to help shore up the blue line and get a good leader who's won in the room, so he knows what to do.
I mean, talk about even
Um,
on the power play. Like
yeah,
he brings such stability to like that group in either a PP1 role or PP2. So, I mean, talk about like experience on the blue line for sure.
this Anaheim team is about to go on a playoff streak, like of 10 years straight, making the playoffs and being a contender like that, like
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah, and it's scary for the Western Conference because not only do you have to go through McDavid, McKinnon, now this Anaheim team emerges. If they can stay healthy
Yep.
and they can stay good, it'll be very scary to see. I want to hear your thoughts on what does this mean for McDavid. Like I feel like we've talked about it since they signed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what does it mean if they miss playoffs? Okay, what now that Tristan Jarry there, they have a new Stuart Skinner. Okay, now we made playoffs. Now we got to go through Anaheim. Now we're here. What does it mean, Jenks? What does your crystal ball say?
Look, McDavid signed that short-term deal because he's basically like, you know what? We get one more chance. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you a discount on the price on the AAV so that you can bring in some talent. And the first move they did was went and swapped out Stuart Skinner and a draft pick
yeah,
for Tristan Jarry.
yep.
If I'm McDavid, as soon as that trade went through, I said, this is the last contract I'm ever
Yeah,
signing here. This is the worst
yeah.
organization ever. He's gone. As far as if they lose this series, McDavid is going to kill people, and he is so gone.
Yeah, but sometimes, Jenks, that works out because Aiden Hill, I mean, he was in Arizona and I think he went to Philly for a little bit. Or no, that's Blackwood, Wedgwood. The two Arizona
Yeah,
goalies went over there. Aiden Hill was in Arizona for a brief stint, went over to San Jose, now to Vegas.
yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just a change of scenery.
Change of scenery, change of team. Like
It has to be
give,
the person.
yeah,
Change heads. You
yeah,
think?
yeah. Put McDavid's head on Connor Sheary, and it becomes a better player.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm in the same spot. I feel like McDavid's done. He's toast. I mean, McDavid's only scored one goal this whole playoffs. So, I
It's
mean,
not a very hard game plan to say, hey, look, our strategy is literally having three guys on McDavid, and we don't have to worry about anybody
right?
else.
Yeah, you shut him down. You shut the whole team down.
Right.
Okay, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Prediction for the end of the series. Are we ending it then end game 6?
And yeah, Anaheim's gonna
Damn,
come out.
that was
Anaheim's gonna
quick.
come
No
out a lot
thought.
better in Game 6. No thought. And Edmonton, look, McDavid went into Game 5 questionable. That's BS. Everybody knew he was playing, but we know he's a little banged up.
Yeah.
If McDavid's banged up, they're gonna suffer at some point. They got a good jump in Game 5. Anaheim's not gonna let that happen twice, especially not in their own barn. This is over in
All
6.
right, fair enough, fair enough. That wraps up the Western Conference. Moving over to the Eastern Conference, Buffalo, Boston might be the series everybody wanted to watch. See if Boston can bounce back. In Buffalo, first time in a millennium, it feels like for Buffalonians. Jenks, would you be part of the Blade Gang going to these games or what?
Dude, the Blade Gang. These guys didn't they do the pregame drum thing
Yeah, I saw.
last game?
Scotty
Yeah,
sent me that. Yeah.
they got talk about just showing up to game 1 like being like, oh, this is kind of funny, and now all of a sudden you're banging the drum before the game,
Hey, that
like
might
Josh
get the
Allen
players
was.
going too. You never know. You never
So
know.
who's more important to Buffalo, Josh Allen or the Blade Gang?
Blade Gang.
It's debatable.
Yeah, I mean, 10 out of 10.
Um, the Buffalo continues to look like a well structured good team. I think the last game, like Boston played really well defensively, took advantage of their opportunities. The game winner by Pasternak was just a
A
broken play.
mistake. Yeah.
Pasternak, yeah, he just happened to come off the bench and they were in the middle of a change and he got behind him and made a nice move to score. I still think Buffalo's coming out of this series. I think Boston's playing about as well as you could ask them, but Buffalo, as much as it's crazy to say from where we were 6 months ago, like Buffalo was one of the best teams in the NHL all season,
Yeah.
and they're showing in this playoffs that it wasn't a fluke. They're controlling a lot of this play, and I think they find a way to get it done.
Yeah, this team is so weird to me because like I hate to say that Buffalo's good, but Buffalo's good. They have everybody on their team firing, and that's what you need in playoffs. The goaltending's being above average for what you're asking for them to do up against Boston, and I think Boston's showing that maybe they just didn't want to turn it on during the year, and yeah, they're gonna punish you when you mistake, just like the Flyers. If you let up any room, they're gonna take it. They're gonna go down and bury. So that last goal by Pasta in OT, that was rough to watch. I mean, they were line change, getting it deep, Pasta just coasting. Some would say that's me out in NHL 26, just coasting back. Hey, double tap, get me at Willie, and I'm up B-way. So, but here's the situation, Jenks. Boston wins Game 5 on the road, headed back to TD Garden at home for Game 6. Who's the pressure on?
I think pressure's on Buffalo a little
Pressure's
bit.
on Buffalo. You're catching on.
I, I you're coming off a loss, heartbreaker loss. It's not like you got blown out
Yeah.
where you can just hit the reset button. That one's going to sting for a little bit. You're going back into enemy territory. In theory, Boston's got the momentum. I think Buffalo's got to come out hot and take control.
Yeah,
Pressure's
it's
on.
almost like this is Buffalo's Game 7. Like you should come into this game like you want to execute, but you also want to play a little desperate. You don't want to play desperate all the time because then that's how those mistakes compound and you let up 5 goals. So you want to be in control, but playing like this is your last game. And that's how I would go into it. I've never ever had even a sniff of even a 3-game set. It was always one and done for us. But hey, that's just I'm calling myself out there a little bit. I dog on La Frontier a lot, so I got to call myself out. But yeah, I think it's definitely Buffalo's game to lose for this one. And it's gonna be tough in that environment. Buffalo sucks is gonna be coming out. Tage sucks is gonna be coming out. Darlene, F you, Dolly, like all of it's gonna be coming out. So the boys got to be prepared for that. And what's crazy about this Buffalo team is there's not a lot of playoff experience. I mean, you have Tuck, and I feel like he's basically the guy that has the longest stint in playoffs, and I think he's a Stanley Cup winner for Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Just making sure my hockey ball knowledge is good. But Jenks, are we ending it in Game 6?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
The
show goes on.
The show goes. I think this one is going
right.
back to Buffalo for Game 7, and you better believe the Blade Gang's going to be there. And I do think Buffalo wins this series still.
Yeah, I agree. I think Buffalo is going to win the series. Now, needless to say, Buffalo did win both games on the road in this playoff series. So let's keep that in mind for all you DGen gamblers out there. So, but moving on to the next series, another good one. Montreal, Tampa Bay tied up 2-2. So weird that there's not even a Game 5 yet. But Game 5 tonight. This is a closer series than anybody thought. And you were a
Yeah.
big, oh, Montreal fucking sucks, blah, blah, blah. Tampa Bay sucks. I don't know, Jenks. There's something in the air, something in the water up in Canada.
First of all, I'm gonna eat it for saying that I didn't think Montreal would be able to keep up
Three
because this is
overtimes.
3 overtime games, and the only game that didn't go to overtime was a 3-2 win. So like
Yeah, basically
this
overtime.
is this is as even a series
Yeah.
as you can possibly get, and I think the one thing that caught me by surprise is how ready the youth of Montreal looks to play in the playoffs. I mean, Suzuki, Caulfield, Lane Hudson looks unbelievable. Like your guy and Slipkovsky with a hat trick in the first game.
Slav.
He's been really good for them. Like
Yeah.
I I'm surprised. I'm happy for Montreal. I like those guys being able to step up and be ready to go for playoffs. Um, this has been I've watched 3 out of the 4 games of this. It's been really fun to watch. The games are getting really intense. I
Yeah.
know there was a big hit on Kucherov, and everybody's been there was a big hit on Josh Anderson,
That
and like
sent him lights out. Was that the game?
these teams,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, these teams are playing scrap. They do not like each other, and it's been really fun hockey. So I felt going into this series before the hockey started, I felt very confident that the Lightning were going to win this series.
Okay.
I don't feel so confident as we sit here today. Montreal looks good.
Maybe EA Sports was right predicting Montreal to raise the Stanley Cup. So, I mean, the way they're
Anything's
playing,
possible.
but I will say, like with the youth, with these longer series, like now you're coming into a 3 game set. Like the first 4 games didn't even exist in my mind. So now
Yeah,
it's best of 3, and like these are the time your experience and your leadership should rise up and really take hold. Like Jake Gensel and
yeah,
Brandon Hagel on the other side and Braden Point, like all these guys that have been there, done that through 19 million years in the playoffs. This is where they show up, and I feel like Montreal's lack of that may hurt them now.
yeah.
But they do have, Saint Louis on the bench, so maybe he's like, hey boys, like let's just lighten it up, have fun, and just let's go and play. So we'll see. I mean, I've caught a few of these games. I feel like they're on the same time as the Pens, so it's kind of hard to double watch and flip through everything. But just scrolling through here, and I feel like Montreal has had a great spread of players to to give them a lot of points. So like you're not counting on goalie Caulfield to score, and you're not
Right,
counting on Suzuki to score. You're getting
right.
Wi-Fi in on the action. Kirby Dotch, you're getting him on the
Yeah.
action. You're getting Lane Hudson. You're getting everybody. So I feel like some of these guys are important to them. But 4-4 Jenks series. Who do you need to step up?
If look, if I am Montreal, I don't know that you can really point the finger at anybody and say you need to step. Like maybe you're looking for somebody like one of the depth guys, like a Jake Evans, to make a big play, somebody like that. But your studs have been playing like studs. If I'm Tampa, somebody like Sorelli has been pretty quiet. I mean, he typically plays more of a defensive role, but he always seems to rise in big moments. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him score a really important goal here in Game 5 or Game 6, something like that. It just seems to always
God
happen.
dang it, dude! I was gonna say him too. We
So,
can't keep doing this. But yeah, I was gonna say him and Braden Point. Like they're not really
yeah,
shown up yet in these series, and I feel like when Sorelli was in that Stanley Cup run, even against us in 16, 17, like
yeah,
his name was always in the mix, like 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and I'm like, God dang it, who is this freaking loser? And now he's a household name, getting in on some Olympic teams. So
yeah.
yeah, I feel like for Tampa, that's where I'm looking. And Goal Caulfield on the other end, like, hey, Let's put more in than one on a PP. Like let's go, come on, like let's play some games here. So I'm looking at those two guys to step up for me for sure. But moving on to arguably the worst series that ever happened to exist ever, Carolina versus Ottawa, 4-0, easy sweep, thumb goes down. Anything else we got to cover here, Jenks?
Look, this was like the battle of who is a better defensive team, and clearly Carolina is just the better version of Ottawa. I mean, if you really want to mention anything, like Ottawa suffered some pretty bad injuries that put them behind the eight ball right away. So not only were they really outgunned in just talent wise, and they had to go into the series knowing they were pretty banged up as well.
What
So
about Stahl versus Brady off the draw?
so I was deceived when I saw that happen off the opening draw. I thought, is it possible that we actually have like a decent series out of this?
Right.
Like Brady Kachuk's like, I'm gonna make my team rise to this challenge, and just didn't work out that way. Sorry, Brady, your team is still not good enough.
Just did
and,
not happen. What about Jordan Stahl
hopefully,
there, dropping the mitts at what, 32, 33?
how can you not like Jordan
I
Stahl
don't
for
know.
doing this?
I don't
Like,
know.
just being the leader that they
You
need.
see his quote
Um,
after? He's like, we were gonna go eventually at some time. Why not right off the
yeah,
first draw? You know, what a
yeah,
sick
yeah,
attitude to have. That's awesome. Because I mean,
yeah,
both of them probably know like their team is they're super young. Like they have no idea what the playoffs is about, and boom, like
yeah,
here it is, boys. So,
yeah,
but yeah, moving on. I mean, Carolina's swept them 4-0.
yeah,
They're moving on to the semis for that division.
yeah.
The series that we really want to talk about that the boys are cheering for: Pittsburgh versus Philly, 3-2 Philly in the series. Jenks, I'm just gonna hand it to you first and go from there.
Okay, so first of all, we got to talk about the series, and then I've got to unload a little bit.
Okay.
So right away, it was like, all the Pens fans, including us, were hyped. The Pens are back in playoffs. They had a like a fantastic season, blew everybody's expectations out of the water. Everybody's hyped for this, and they just came out and
Flat.
looked flat. Fell behind right away. I don't know how. Philly just looked like the faster team. Like, yes, they're the younger team, but they looked so quick. They're getting decent goaltending from Vladar. Um, Crosby is probably banged up. He just doesn't look right. Played his absolute heart out in Game 5 to keep us alive here. I think, realistically, I think the Pens have the momentum. I'm still skeptical to say that reverse
You
sweep
can't say
incoming.
it. You can't say it.
But we got the momentum, so big game tonight. We'll be tuning into every minute of that and holding on to my seat for dear life.
By the time this
Um,
comes out, the game will be over.
by the time this comes out, the game will be over, and I
Time
will
moves
either
forward.
be running around my house in circles or drinking my sorrows away.
Right.
So one of the two. Um, we got to talk about a young problem in this league. Okay.
Okay. Can we say
Philly,
the boys were at game 1 and 2?
yes. Okay, yeah. You want to go ahead. Talk about you and Siege being
Yeah.
at the game.
Yep. CJ came to town. We were at the games. Not ideal, but we were in the facility trying to will them to victory. Just didn't work out that way, and he was in town for the other two games, and we ended up winning the last game. So we that's the momentum shift we needed. Maybe we didn't have to delete as many beers as we did, so maybe that was the recipe for success for the Penguins, I think. So that's all I'm gonna say. I am definitely going to echo whatever Jenkins says, but I'll let him go first.
Do you have any clue what I'm about to say?
I think I know one person that you are certainly going to attack because he
Oh,
is a rival for you for even before he was
this
in the
is
show.
this is this is all about one kid. Okay.
A child.
I'm gonna a child. Okay. Might he can't even legally drink yet.
All right.
Okay. So he doesn't know what deleting beers means.
He doesn't. He
So
can't.
I'll preface this rant by saying I've never sniffed the NHL. I am nowhere as talented as this kid. He's in the NHL for a reason, and he's clearly a good hockey player. But Porter Martone has been in the NHL for 30 minutes, and he is running around challenging veterans, hitting Crosby in the numbers, trying to square up with Letang. 20-year veterans. This kid's out there running his mouth, grinning ear to ear. I want to punch him in his teeth so bad. I can't stand it. The disrespect to the veterans, to the Penguins greats, Crosby, Malkin, Letang. You don't even have a full season under your belt yet. I can't stand this kid. Okay, he's probably gonna have a good NHL career, but guess what? I'm still a Penguins fan. I hate the Flyers, and now I hate them even more that this kid's on the team.
Some would say
He
it
was a
reignited your hatred for the Flyers.
He was a scumbag in the OHL. He was a scumbag at the World Juniors. He was a scumbag in college, and he's an even bigger scumbag to 20-year NHL veterans, all-time great hockey players. This kid is scum, and I hate watching him, and I hate seeing him smile on the ice, and I want somebody to put his lights out.
Yeah. The thing is like he doesn't even understand what he's doing. Like
No.
I think he thinks like it's just cool, that people aren't gonna be like, dude, you don't do that shit, buddy. Because guess what's gonna happen? We're gonna bring up freaking Soto and we're gonna say, hey Soto, freaking unhook the trailer and get after this man. Literally hands up. Not even.
I don't think he's played. I don't think he's played any games against the Washington Capitals yet. Try doing that stuff when Tom Wilson's on the ice.
Yeah.
You will be in a coma for weeks. Like,
right.
The NHL has lost the art of the tough guy, so now we got kids like this that can run around and
just slashing people and skating away.
Oh my god, that's a whole different story.
No, I know.
Look,
go ahead.
I'll just wrap it up by saying if he doesn't calm this down,
okay,
he's going to find out what it's like to run around and be a hot shot. Next season's going to be a long season for him. And I think he's going to be really successful in the NHL. I think he's going to have a great career. He looks really good. But, dude, the arrogance of this kid stepping into the NHL and acting this way, he is going to find out.
He's gonna find out sooner or later. That's the real thing. And even like if it's not this round, it's next year's round. It's some other round because the Penguins do not have a hitter. We just don't. Achari maybe Lizzo if he like skates full speed at you. But I think this series is defined by I feel like the referees. Every game, there's something. There's something wild. Like we have 19 people in the box at one point. We're putting every person that was on the ice in the box in the playoffs. Is that what we're doing? Like, to me, that doesn't make any sense. Like, that doesn't hold a standard. So we put everybody in the box that fights on the ice, but at the end of the game, when Konechny buries Crosby from behind, we're not holding him out for the next game. Like that, right. Like there's no standard. Like, where's the standard then for some of these things? Carlson taps somebody on his foot when he's rotating. He falls down, tripping. Oh, I was lighting that ref up from the 200s. The trip happened. Ref goes, what was that 10-second delay? Were you thinking about it? Oh my god, dude! Like some of these calls are just so bad. Even on the Flyers, like some of the calls are so bad. Like if I was the NHL, like you got to call these guys before the game and be like, yo, it better be the worst thing in the world. We're calling roughings in the show. In the show, we're calling roughs. Come on. That's a blank. That's what I call when I don't know what to call. I'm just like, rough. You know, like, I don't know. I didn't see it really, but it looked like it hurt, so rough. Yeah. No, we're not calling that. In the NHL, it has to be exact. What did he do? He didn't just rough somebody. I don't know. I just, some of these things just, like, ruffle my feathers in the NHL. Like, that guy's in the show? Really? Got it. Okay. All right. Anyways, I'm not going to ask us the prediction. Certainly not, but we all know which way we are leaning. We cannot say what's going to happen, but it will happen. If that makes sense.
Yes. It can't be spoken out loud, but we all know how this is going to end.
Right. Because like we said, team coming off a win, going to an away barn, pressure's on who, Jenks?
You're going to make me say it again?
The opposing team.
The pressure is on. Hey, Philly, we're coming.
We're coming.
Crosby's going to come knocking.
Steps are always coming.
Hear the footsteps.
All right. Did you see that video of him just like dead stare straight out into the open?
Oh yeah.
The Pat McAfee just tweeted, it was just like, uh-oh. Yeah. Oh, those memes are great. Anyways, any last thoughts for the crew?
No, I mean, honestly, not too many surprises in the playoffs so far. A couple teams probably playing a little bit better than we expected, but at least we didn't get a whole bunch of sweeps. I think there was early on in the playoffs, there was a bunch of risk of that. I'd be like, oh, this is going to be pretty boring. But it's been fun. There's a lot of good hockey, and at this point, you could say any team has a case for winning it all. So, just excited to keep watching.
Yep.
Can't wait for the game tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting no matter what happens. But we're gonna be tuning in, and hopefully everybody tunes into some more NHL coverage. And make sure to follow us on Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram at Black Aces Hockey Podcast. And I'm your co-host, Blaine Adams. I'm Ray, as always, with your co-host, Nick Jenks. And we're out of here.